All right, everybody. I know this wasn't scheduled, but today's been kind of busy for me. So here I am, and we're discussing. Well, I decided I'm going to call these. Hang on a second. Recovery chat sessions. So this is number 3. Recovery chat session number 3, and hopefully you guys got your invite. If not, thank you for showing up, or whenever you show up. Thank you for showing up. And today I went to go pick up my daughter. I'm glad she's back. Um, in my room today. The other day I was in her room. So, all right. Well, I'm gonna get started. I only have 3 questions this time. I was hoping that whoever shows up will have some more questions, but if not, I'll get some. So I'm better prepared next time. So the first question is: do you sometimes feel out of reach for some folks because they could never understand what you have been through? And I'm assuming that. Oh, thank you guys for joining. The first question is: do you sometimes feel out of reach for some folks because they could never understand what you have been through? And I'm assuming that this is talking about or asking about like the way the things that I've been through compared to the things that somebody that's not an addict has been could even understand or has even been through. So as far as that goes, yeah, if we're talking about someone that's not an addict compared to me, that's a total addict, then yeah, they could never really understand what I have been through, you know. But if we're talking about other addicts, I know that everybody's story is a little bit different, but when it all boils down, we've all been through similar situations. So, no, I don't feel out of reach. And I definitely don't feel like I'm above anybody. The situations I have been through have been humiliating. And so I am humble when it comes to the way I think about myself compared to other people. Other people are just as important as I am. And I don't look down on people, you know. Hello, Shawnee. Thank you for coming. I'm glad you're here. Uh, so yeah, no, I don't look down on people. Everybody's got their own story, and it matters just as much as mine does. So yeah. But as far as like if it's a not a person that's we like to call them normies, but someone that thank you. Yes, God bless America. And you know what? I like the whole world, so God bless the whole world. Okay. So, anyways, we call them normies, like people that aren't addicts, and I don't know. Even if it's someone that's not an addict, I love you too. Thank you for your support. They have been through their own tough times too. So who's to say that they won't understand the depths of things that I have been through? You know, you never know what someone has been through. And maybe they have a relative that's an addict, so maybe they understand. So I don't think that anybody's out of reach, you know, like working time, my job, blessing for Jesus. Okay. Well, I'm happy for you. So, anyways, number 2, do you think the average person would understand the depths with which drugs took you on a regular basis if they never had a similar experience? This kind of like runs along the same lines as the first question. Oh, you're a bank manager, right on. Cool. So this runs kind of along the same lines as the first question. Um, People that don't get addicted to drugs, I don't know. they could have hit rock bottom in other ways, like they could have depression problems or whatever. I don't know what it's like to not be an addict, because I've, as far as I know, I was born an addict, so I think that it's possible that the average person could understand. Hi, Estelle. Thank you for showing up. I really appreciate you. I think it's possible that someone that's not an addict would understand, because like I said a minute ago, we never know what people have been through, so it's possible that someone that's not an addict could understand, like, the depths that we get taken to, um, on a regular basis, being drug addicts, like I said a second ago as well, like maybe they have someone that's a relative that's a drug addict. So maybe, hey, maybe they understand because they've seen their relative or their friend or their parent go through the same thing that you have gone through. So in that aspect, they could understand, you know. But some people, yeah, I've met some people that can't really understand or grasp the concept of why I'm an addict or what I've been through, because they weren't addicts themselves. So number 3, it says, in my case, I came to terms with the shameful things I did for survival and to feed my habit by believing I had no choice. What do you tell yourself to reconcile those times in your own heart? Well, I like to think of it as like, in terms of my willpower, and like I kind of have a different view as far as it goes. Like, I didn't have a choice. Yes, no, I didn't have a choice, and it's like, for me, what it seems like in the depths of my addiction is like someone else is driving. I'm not myself. I opened the floodgates and I let something come in. Because for me, drugs is kind of like a trick. Like, um, it's like, when you first start doing drugs, you feel like it's one way, right? And then once you start getting used to it, it switches up on you. So it tricks you into thinking one thing, and then a whole other thing happens. So I feel like you open the floodgates for whatever it is to come in and take over. And then from that point, you're just like a meat puppet. There, whatever it is driving. So yeah, you could look at it like you didn't have a choice, because you kind of don't if something else is driving. So, do you guys have any questions you want to ask? Because I really don't have very many questions today. I just wanted to do what I said I was going to do and come on today. I know this video hasn't been as good as my other ones, but I just wanted to keep my word to you guys. Estelle, you got any questions? Who else is here? Hmm. All right, well, I know this was a short one. If nobody has any questions, I'll get off, and then I'll try to get more questions for the next one. But thank you guys for showing up, and I really appreciate all of your support, and I'm glad that you're a part of my journey. All right? I'll talk to you later, guys.